Welcome aboard.
Get ready to pack your curiosity, because today we're uncovering 9 brand new things you absolutely cannot bring on flights in 2025. From the downright surprising to the wait really rules, we're about to give you the ultimate lowdown on what's made it to the no-fly list this year. Flying has changed, folks. Some of these bans will have you nodding in agreement, and others, well, they might just leave you scratching your head. But don't worry, we're breaking it all down in a way that's clear, fun, and perfect for the whole family to enjoy. And hey, if you love travel tips, insider info, and staying ahead of the curve, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss future videos that'll make your journey smoother and a little more fun too. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. 1. Smart bottles gone rogue. Why high-tech hydration is raising eyebrows. Reusable water bottles, still a great idea. But if your bottle is doing more than holding water, like syncing to your phone or keeping your drink warm via Bluetooth, you might want to leave it at home. Smart bottles with built-in electronics, from temperature sensors to wireless charging pads, are the new buzzkill at airport security in 2025. What's the big deal? It all boils down to hidden wiring and lithium batteries. Cool features like your bottle's app or charging base might be just what triggers an alarm at the security checkpoint. Imagine this. At Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, one traveler's high-end smart bottle threw the entire security line into chaos when a built-in lithium battery set off the scanner. Suddenly, their fancy bottle went from helpful to hazardous faster than you can say water break. The TSA has since added certain smart water bottles to their additional screening list. If your bottle looks more like a gadget, security might either detain it for inspection or, in some cases, flat out ban it. What's the family-friendly takeaway here? Keep it simple. Stick to a traditional stainless steel or BPA-free bottle. Leave the futuristic techie bottles at home. They may quench your thirst for innovation, but they might also create a thirst for smoother security lines. 2. Encrypted hard drives. The data dilemma you didn't see coming. It's not the wires or space these little devices take up, it's what they carry. External hard drives with built-in encryption software are meeting increased scrutiny these days, especially when international borders are part of your travel plans. Sounds intense, right? Well, with a rise in cybersecurity concerns, customs authorities in countries like China, Russia, and several parts of the Middle East have begun confiscating encrypted drives. Imagine this scenario. A journalist traveling to Beijing last month had their drive seized, wiped, and was even denied entry until the situation was resolved. Talk about adding drama to a travel day no one wants. Even though TSA still approves external drives in carry-ons, encrypted devices specifically raise red flags overseas. This is especially true if local governments restrict encryption laws or distrust foreign data sharing. What's the solution? Save yourself headaches by going digital without the drives. Opt for cloud storage as much as possible, and bring unencrypted devices for your trip. Keeping confidential files, encrypt them once you've landed. It's a workaround that's family-friendly and ensures you're staying safe, secure, and drama-free while traveling. 3. Supplements, capsules, and mystery bags. Mind your herbal extras. Got a sleepy flight ahead and a melatonin pill ready? Double-check what's in your bag first. Supplements and herbal remedies are hitting new turbulence in 20. While melatonin and CBD were already being scrutinized in airports, the net has widened to include items like kratom, St. John's wort, and super-potent sleep aids. Here's why it matters. Airport agents these days are playing detective with any container that lacks a proper label. Whether it's Ziploc bags of herbs or unlabeled pill organizers, they're stopping to inspect these items for potentially restricted substances. If your bottle isn't from a clear mainstream brand, or if it's imported from overseas, there's a decent chance it could be flagged. For instance, in Miami, a wellness blogger carrying $200 worth of herbal capsules learned this lesson the hard way. Agents detained their bag because the contents couldn't be instantly verified. Sadly for the blogger, those pricey supplements never made it onto the plane. Stick to this simple mantra when packing for your next flight: clear labels, sealed packages, and no mystery bag. Not only will it save you potential trouble at security, it keeps your flight experience smooth and stress-free. 4. The pressurized predicament. Why gas gadgets are grounded. Travelers, take note, your small but mighty pressurized gas gadgets have officially lost their wing. It's not just CO2 cartridges for airsoft guns or personal flotation devices under scrutiny anymore. Starting in 2025, beauty tools, portable razors, and even refreshing facial misters with pressurized gas are on TSA's ban radar. If it sprays, mists, or fizzes under any kind of pressure, you might need to rethink packing it. Here's how it went down. One passenger flying out of JFK had a $120 micro-misting skincare device, confiscated because it contained a built-in non-removable gas cartridge. Similar stories have since popped up, and now TSA is recommending travelers consider all gas cartridges restricted, unless labeled declared and within specific size limits. What does this mean for you? Fancy travel items like handheld soda makers, you know who you are, SodaStream fans, or mini airbrush kits that use any sort of pressurized gas, are no longer welcome on board unless they meet strict guidelines. Even your trusty travel razor could cause some turbulence at check-in if it contains a gas component to power that extra smooth shave. Pro tip for families and solo flyers alike, stick to non-pressurized beauty gadgets and tools. There's no better way to save yourself time and avoid the heartbreak of seeing a treasured item headed for the confiscation bin. It's always a good idea to check TSA's most updated list before packing these kinds of goodies. 5. Powder trouble. When protein shakes become problematic. Powders might not sound like something to worry about, but in 2025, anything over 12 ounces is causing big delays at airport security checkpoints. From protein powders and baby formulas to powdered drink mixes and spices, TSA agents are stopping unsealed or unlabeled powders for detailed inspections. It's part precaution, part practical enforcement of new rules meant to ensure safety. Picture this: a fitness enthusiast rushing through Phoenix Airport had their whey protein powder seized simply because it was in an unmarked bag, and it doesn't stop there. Agents are keeping an eye on anything powdery, from baking ingredients to cosmetic powders like foundation or setting powders. The rationale: they're treating unmarked powders as potential chemical threats until proven otherwise. Keeping your travel day stress-free means following a few powder-friendly packing tricks. Start by ensuring any powdered items are in their original packaging, with clear labels. If you're planning to pack larger quantities, hello meal prepping gym buffs, you might consider pre-mixing before the flight or stowing it in checked luggage. For families, this is particularly important with baby formula or powdered milk. Make sure the containers are official and sealed to avoid unnecessary delays. The takeaway: while powders can be handy, this rule isn't one to take lightly. Smooth travels require clear planning around anything granular, from protein-packed perks to your favorite spice blend for post-flight meal prep. 6. Bye-bye Bluetooth battles. Track wisely when you fly. If you've become attached to your Bluetooth tracking gadgets like AirTags or Tiles, there's a new wrinkle to think about before your next international trip. While these tiny devices have been lifesavers when it comes to tracking lost luggage, some airlines, especially in Europe and Asia, aren't so on board with them anymore. A growing number of airlines, including Lufthansa and Korean Air, have banned real-time Bluetooth trackers for checked baggage, stating concerns that the constant signals interfere with aircraft telemetry. This isn't just a local issue either. Carriers in regions with stricter aviation policies are increasingly enforcing it. One traveler flying from New York to Berlin, for instance, had to make a tough choice: remove their AirTag from the checked bag or leave the luggage behind entirely. Out. The good news: for now, the ban seems to only apply to checked baggage. You can still keep trackers in your carry-on items or personal belongings. However, these evolving rules highlight the need to double-check specific airline policies before every trip, particularly if you're hopping between multiple countries. A safer workaround: use trackers selectively or opt for labels and luggage tags that minimize the risk of loss. Talk about old school meeting new school charm. And if you're not sure about your carrier's stance, a quick heads-up to customer service before your departure can save precious time and prevent frustration. 7. Foil-wrapped food fiasco. Time to ditch the aluminum. Got a knack for packing homemade sandwiches or snacks in foil for your trip? Here's a heads-up: aluminum foil is making airport security a lot more complicated, and TSA's newer advanced scanners flag foil as an issue because it blocks X-rays, turning your tasty snacks into a scanning nightmare. Take the case of one mom traveling with her kids from Denver. She packed some delicious sandwiches in foil-wrapped bundles, intending to make their flight more enjoyable. Instead, her bag got flagged for anomalies, and the family was stuck waiting for a full 30-minute bag search. The problem doesn't stop with sandwiches either. Stacks of foil-wrapped items like burritos, candy bars, or even wraps could confuse scanners by appearing like weapon components or hidden contraband. Talk about turning a fun meal into a major hassle. Thankfully, TSA hasn't banned your yummy snacks altogether. You can still bring your homemade goodies as long as you skip the foil. Switch to clear plastic wraps or transparent food containers instead. This makes it much easier for scanners to identify your items without additional checks or delay. For families, this small adjustment can save precious time at security and keep hungry little ones and adults happy and stress-free. Remember, meal prep for air travel is still totally fine, just go foil-free to keep things moving smoothly at the airport. 8. Vape-related turbulence. Why some e-cigs are being grounded. If you're someone who carries an e-cigarette or disposable vape, you'll want to pay extra attention to this one. While vaping devices are largely allowed in carry-ons, certain models with risky batteries are now banned outright for 20. The culprit, unregulated lithium battery cells that have been tied to overheating or safety concerns, especially in counterfeit or imported vape. Here's an example. One traveler at LAX had their disposable vape promptly confiscated, not because of what was inside, but rather because the battery model was flagged by TSA. The FAA has also issued recommendations to screen for specific devices that pose fire risk. This primarily affects vapes from lesser-known brands or international manufacturers, making them particularly vulnerable to sudden restrictions. If you're traveling with a vape in 2025, the safest bet is to check its brand and battery specs well in advance. TSA offers some guidance on approved devices, and if you're unsure, you can always contact their support for help. And remember, while your vape might make it through security, you're still not allowed to use or charge it during a flight. These bans are for everyone's safety after all. For those who use vapes regularly, sticking to reputable manufacturers is key. Avoid off-brand or imported models, as these are often subject to stricter scrutiny. And if in doubt, it's best to leave your vape at home for the trip to avoid any surprises or holdups at security. 9. Medicine mix-up. When over-the-counter isn't okay. Medications like Benadryl or pseudoephedrine might seem like harmless essentials to pack for your travel comfort. But did you know they can land you in trouble in some countries? While these meds are freely available over the counter in the US, 2025 has seen other nations introduce stricter controls, ranging from confiscation to outright bans. Japan, the UAE, and Nigeria are just a few examples of countries that now classify certain medications as controlled substances. Imagine flying through Dubai and getting stopped for allergy pills you barely thought twice about packing. This exact scenario happened to one traveler who was detained briefly while border officials assessed their medication. Even small quantities of these seemingly everyday items can lead to legal complications if the destination's laws classify them as narcotics. The solution: research the specific medication restrictions of every country on your itinerary, especially if your trip involves multiple stopovers. If you do need to bring restricted medication, ensure it's in its original packaging with clear labels and carry a doctor's note or prescription just in case. Even common sleep aids like melatonin might require extra documentation. Certain countries. TSA won't stop these meds on your way out, but that's not the end of the story. Border control at your destination may confiscate them, fine you, or worse. To avoid these headaches, it's best to double-check international medication rules and err on the side of caution when packing. With the right prep, you'll glide through customs without a care in the world. And that's a wrap. Now you're officially in the know about the 9 newest things you can't take on flights in 20. Some of these might have been a shocker looking at you Bluetooth tracker, but we hope this makes packing a whole lot easier and your next trip much smoother. Remember, staying ahead of these rules can save you time, stress, and maybe even some of your favorite travel gadgets. Got a favorite tip from this list? Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more travel tips, packing hacks, and updates to keep your journeys stress-free, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're here to make your travel adventures not just possible, but amazing. Safe travels, everyone, and see you in the next video.